Welcome, heroes. This week we are going to be talking about mental fitness over mental health. And here's what I mean about that. I've been thinking a lot lately about how much in the zeitgeist we think that mental health is a specific place that we're supposed to get to and stay in once we're there. That it's this static place that we need to do these certain things in a certain order. And once we get there, we have mental health. We have good mental health. And that has not been my experience over the years. And in trying to think about a better way to define a healthy way to go about trying to achieve better mental health in your life, I started to look at what I do in my own life as far as going to the gym. And that is having the daily practices that are habits. So when motivation isn't there, I still go and do it. It's just like brushing my teeth. It's automatic. I do it all the time. And so I wanted to redefine that term a bit of mental health. And I believe what I have come to is that we should be defining it more as mental fitness. It is something that is a daily practice, and we're not always going to be good at it every single day in the same way that we were a day ago, 2 days ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. And that comparing it to a static state is actually something that's not that good for us. Much like my wife does yoga, and she has been a religious yoga goer, hot yoga. It's really hard as far as I'm concerned. Being in that hot room for 60 to 90 minutes takes a lot of mental toughness, a lot of habits. She's gotten a lot of benefits out of it. But really in yoga, one of the things that she shared with me, and those of you who have practiced yoga or done a yoga class may have heard this as well, is that they don't refer to yoga as something that you become a good yoga person and then that's a static state. They always refer to yoga as a practice, that it's the practice of yoga. You never achieve the perfect yoga pose or the perfect form or the perfect routine. You're constantly showing up every day to practice it. And through practice, you become better at it. And sometimes you have days that are better than other days. Some days I'll ask my wife how it was when she came back from hot yoga, and she'll say, oh, it was a really great day. It was fantastic. I just felt amazing. My body felt in tune, was able to do all my poses. It just felt amazing. And other days I'll ask her the exact same question, and she'll come back and say, you know what? It was really tough today. I was aware of how hot it was, that it was hard. I didn't really want to be there. But at the end of it, I know I have all these benefits. And so I know that it won't always feel that way. And that she's working on her own mental state while she's doing that through the filter of treating it as a practice. So I'd like us to start moving towards that. And I know that that's been really helpful for me as well. Because some days, I go to the gym and I might not be feeling it as much as another day. Some days I go in and I'm like, all right, let's go for a personal record on this lift, or I'm going to add an extra set to this. And some days I might not be feeling it, and it's really just about going. It's the brushing the teeth. It's the routine. I'm going to be here for at least 30 minutes, and I'm going to do these 3 or 4 things, and I'm going to feel good about the fact that I showed up and that I did it. This water drop in the glass, if we have a glass, and each day that a piece of water drips into it, we're making progress in some form. Some days that drip might be bigger than others, but the fact that you're still doing it constantly, consistently, day after day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, it adds up. It doesn't matter when you look at something from a longer period of time, like mental fitness, that it's a journey. And it doesn't matter that some days you may have only meditated for 10 minutes or only gone for a 10-minute walk because you didn't have that much time. Or, you were on social media a little bit more this week or today than others. It's nothing to beat yourself up about. Doesn't mean that you're failing. You're being aware of it and you're moving forward and trying to make progress in that area. So those things that I just hit on right now are the things that I want to hit on because they've been really beneficial for me as far as my journey towards better mental fitness. And that's what I'm going for. I'm going for over the long term, am I getting better at these things? Or am I even removing things that are keeping me, distracting me from becoming a better version of myself where I feel more mentally fit? And here are the things that I would concentrate on if I was starting to do a mental fitness audit for myself. And these are things that I have definitely looked at in the recent past. So the first thing, it's like mental weightlifting. So like going to the gym is meditation, some sort of meditation or stillness practice. If you can start implementing, if transcendental meditation is something you want to explore, I really dig it. I'm super into it. It's very simple to learn about. You can look it up. It's non-religious based, something that's been very helpful to me and to other people that I know as well. However, if that's not your jam and you don't really want a specific structure, just stillness, sitting in a chair with your eyes closed, maybe having some ambient music on or something, but stillness, just sitting there and allowing yourself to breathe, focus on your breath for even 10, 15, 20 minutes a day will really benefit you. In fact, here are some of the benefits that collectively, scientifically have been measured that come from doing a daily practice of this. It reduces stress and anxiety measurably from a scientific standard. It provides health benefits such as focusing on what's important, helps you to let things go, which is a big one for me. I don't know about you, but when I'm in the middle of my day and I feel like there's all these different things pulling on me and constraints and things like that, or I did something and I'm like, oh, I should have done that a different way, or I should have sent that email a bit differently, or man, I snapped at my kid this morning when I was getting them out the door because they wouldn't get their shoes on. Like all of those things that happen to us in our daily lives, having a practice like practicing stillness that allows us to let go of things can really be beneficial so that you're not carrying around those weights for the rest of the day because you're human. Things become clearer when you start to have a stillness practice. So I would recommend, even if it's seriously, sitting down with your eyes closed for 10 minutes. Do that for a week. I really would feel like anyone would be challenged to say that that didn't affect them for the better if they practice doing that. It's like a little vacation for your mind, calms things down, recenters you, refocuses you, and it's restful. Your brain actually feels refreshed after that, and it can really help you with your day. So another thing along that you could think of even as more of a walking meditation, literally, is going for a walk. You've heard me talk about this a lot on this podcast, especially, that the boring vanilla, just go outside and go for a walk is one of the best things that you could do for a daily practice. All kinds of benefits that I'm sure are obvious to you, like cardiovascular fitness and just fitness in general. But really going for a walk has some amazing other benefits that, they just compile and compound on each other, kind of like compound interest. It improves, studies show that it improves your sleep at night. This is even 10, 15, 20-minute walks daily. Improves your sleep, better endurance, stress relief, improvement in mood. I can tell you so much that if I'm in a bad mood and I go for a walk, it's hard for me to stay in a bad mood. I'm usually pretty happy and smiley by the time I get back after a 20-minute walk, because it just puts things in perspective. It allows you to be outside, breathing air, looking at things, and just kind of getting out of, especially if you're in an office or you're working in the same space, it allows you to have a change of scenery that can really open you up and realize that you can put some things in perspective. That meeting you were in wasn't as big of a deal as you thought it was, that the work that you have going is completely doable. You just maybe need to think about it differently. There's all kinds of things that can be really helpful there. Pro tip, don't put in a podcast or something while you're doing it. If you want it to be more of a walking meditation where your brain is able to chew on things and start to look for other combinations of things to be able to help you or to be able to help you get work done, things like that, allow your brain to just kind of ping pong around on different things and don't focus it on something like a podcast or a phone call to a friend. Let it just be empty white space for you as you're walking, as you're going through. So better endurance, stress relief, improvement in mood, increased energy and stamina. Obviously the weight loss benefits of that, even for 20 minutes a day, it really adds up, and reduced cholesterol and improved cardiovascular heart health. So these are all really good things physically and mentally that can help you and can help you using those things in tandem. Now, the third thing I want to discuss that a lot of times when I start to bring this up, people, their initial reaction, especially if I'm teaching in a class, is a shame response. Because we all know that being on social media at this point, especially if you're on several platforms and you're scrolling multiple times per day, it's not good for you. There's the whole compare and despair thing. People are showing the best version of their lives that may or may not be true. Everyone else looks more successful than you. There's all kinds of things that we know affect children, affect us, and we are the first generation really going through it, all of us right now. And it can really start to affect your life. You pick up that phone and it's just a quick dopamine hit, but it's not a good dopamine hit. It is something that can be distracting. It's something that can make you feel bad about yourself. And this is something that I've had to be very aware of as well. There are times that, for instance, when I am working in a business group or something like that, and they have a Facebook group. They have a Facebook group that's part of the course I'm doing or something like that. Let's say it's a business improvement course or something. And they have a free Facebook group that you're a member of once you join. And so I will pop in there to collaborate with people and work with people and stuff. And sometimes that becomes really easy for me to then like check out other profiles and look down things and go for rabbit hole dives that are not useful to me using my time effectively or for my mental health. So I need to be really careful with myself because it's like candy, and too much candy is not good for you. And so being aware of how much time you're spending on platforms that may or may not benefit you is something to be aware of. So maybe think about that as more of an attention audit. Is this something that's taking more of your attention than you want? And I don't want you to feel bad about it. I just want you to realize that it's way more within your power than you think to just delete that app off your phone. It'll be fine. You can always add it back in tomorrow. But if you don't want to be able to pick it up and easily just start mindlessly when you have 5 minutes scrolling through stuff and all of a sudden 30 minutes have gone by, really think about deleting it off your phone. I know with me, for instance, with those business Facebook groups that I might be a part of, what's been really helpful to me is to delete it off my phone, and only intentionally when I have a block on my calendar that I've intentionally put there for me to do that work or to participate in that group, I log in from my computer for a few minutes, do that specific amount of time, and then I log off. That's been really helpful to me just to put some brackets around my social media use time, because for me, it's just something that if it starts to build up over time, like I said, with mental fitness on a daily basis, we're looking at our daily activities, it's something that really doesn't benefit me, and I would argue does not benefit most of us. If you need to be on LinkedIn, if you're a marketer and you need to be able on Facebook ads, you need to be on Instagram because you're posting, that's obviously something different, but also watch out for your own personal behavior there, because it's easy once you open that Pandora's box to spend too much time there and to have it negatively affect your mental fitness. So that's what I would point out there. It's something that's easy for us all to do and to let get out of control. And it's something that you can address and that you can control. You're not going to miss out on that much. It doesn't matter what everybody else has going on. What matters is your own mental fitness, your own mental health. So those are the things that I wanted to talk about today. Just if you're feeling anxiety, if you are having trouble with your day, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you're on the hamster wheel and it just keeps going faster and faster and faster, these are 3 things that you can examine or maybe start to add into your routine that I swear it seems like it might be adding with the walks and with the meditation or just active stillness might be something that you're like, oh, I have to add that in too. That's even more stuff I have to get done. But it's amazing to me in my own personal experience as you're going towards this shift from mental health to mental fitness, daily things that you do, it actually makes my days easier and makes my priorities clearer and helps me cut through the clutter of what really needs to be done today in order for my business to grow and be more effective, for me to help my students and my clients in the most effective way possible, and to keep those activities simple and effective and not get pulled in lots of different directions, which is easy to do when you're not taking time for yourself, for your brain to be able to have some stillness time, whether that's through a walk or whether that's through active stillness or meditation. So I would recommend that you do those things and then really seriously give yourself some space to maybe jump off or greatly reduce the amount of time that you're spending on social media. It will really help you with the shift towards mental fitness. Daily activities that compound like interest over time that will help you to get to where you want to go faster and make you happier on a daily basis as you're getting there. All right, my friends, until next week, I'll talk to you soon.